Good morning, Yankee fans, Yankee Nation, everything combined. How you doing? How's everybody doing this morning on a beautiful day here in New York City, which only means that it's going to get better as the Yankees get ready to play in what Toronto may think is an elimination game, but I don't. No way, no how, not conceding anything. We are not dead till the fat lady sings, and the fat lady sings is not going to sing in our house. That's for darn sure. So we'll worry about that all a bit later. Right now, first of all, I want to welcome everyone. We will have everything set for around 9:30 this morning. Former Yankee relief pitcher extraordinaire Tom Flash Gordon will be joining us. And he'll be talking about being in the playoffs with the Yankees, what goes into the player's mind on an elimination game like this, that they've been totally, basically outplayed, and what they can do and all that. So we're going to his brain. And also, everybody, put the questions in the chat, and I will do them as soon as I possibly can. It's going to be a really nice interview. So thank you. I also want to thank everybody for being here for our play-by-play last night. I started it, and then Evan came on, Chef Nick came on. Very, very big, very success last night. Thank you, guys. I'm glad that we could, give you the play-by-play there. Also, just to give you an idea of what's going on for today. So we will have a pregame show at 4 p.m. as usual. And if the lines are out before that, I will definitely put it out for you on NY Yankee Mania. That's number one. Number two, we will, again, at 4 o'clock is our pregame. And we'll we'll dice the lineup. We'll do a few things. We'll say a few things. And then later on at Yankees, The Ugly Truth, and we'll bring the play-by-play of the Yankees Game 3 tonight on his channel, and then from there, everyone, we all come back, and hopefully it'll be a happy tune, and there will be a tomorrow for our comprehensive post-game show. As you well know, we usually give you close to 2 hours, if not a little bit more than that. So looking forward to all of that today. But first things first, we're going to bring up Evan, our co-host in the morning, our play-by-play man, and then that will lead into Tom Flash Gordon, ex-New York Yankee pitcher. Good morning, Evan. How's it going?
Good morning, Joe. Doing well. I see some people in the chat. They say that you're lagging a little bit. It should be okay. You're fine.
The what?
People in the chat are saying that you're lagging a little bit, like lagging on the stream.
Really?
To me, you're fine.
Yeah, I see it fine. Sorry about that, but it's fine on my end. I'm getting the thumbs up. So sorry about that. Sorry about that. If you guys, I hope everything's better now. But everything seems to be good on our end. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about now. We don't talk about anything but Yankees right now. So, Evan, what are your thoughts? You had a chance to sleep on it for a day or two. So what's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, I think the Yankees are going to come out today, and they're going to come out swinging. They shouldn't come out trying to swing for the fences, but I do think that they will come out strong, and I do believe in my heart that they're going to take a lead in today's game. I think that they will attack Shane Bieber early, as they should. He doesn't have, as much velocity or as much run on his off-speed pitches as the other pitchers that we faced, so it should be easier for the Yankees to attack Shane Bieber for today's game, especially being at Yankee Stadium. And, I feel confident that they're going to come out mentally ready to play. as hopefully they do, and everyone should be ready for this game. Everybody in the bullpen, everybody on the bench, because Aaron Boone needs to utilize our players better. If there's a change in the lineup, if there's a change in the bullpen, then everybody needs to be ready for it. And I really hope that Rodon today comes out strong, and he needs to have a quick 1-2-3 inning to carry the momentum into the bottom of the first inning and later on in the game and get the fans behind him. But no, I'm excited for today's game. I think we're going to come out. We're going to take a lead, and we're going to hold the lead and eventually win this game.
Cool. Okay. You know what I wanted to do, Evan? We'll discuss it together, and we'll let the chat put it in. I want everybody to give me your lineup for tonight. Yeah, we had a chance to think about it. Give me your lineup for the New York Yankees tonight. I'd really like to hear, and Evan and I are gonna go back and forth with it. So we'll start it off, Evan. How would you construct the lineup if they called you and said, "Okay, Evan, put together the Yankee lineup for tonight"? What would you do? What would you put out there?
Well, I know not a lot of people are going to be a fan of this, but I would lead off Jason Dominguez in today's game. And I know people have problems with his defense, and they don't love that. He's a liability in the outfield, but honestly, I don't really care about that. He has good speed. He can get on base, and the team needs that energy booster. They need that instant kind of momentum shift, and I think Dominguez can spark that. He works counts, and he has very, very good plate discipline. So I think Dominguez should be the guy leading off today. You can always put him at DH. That's fine. Okay. But honestly, yeah.
We're going to go one-on-one with this so we stay on the same page. I agree with you. I like that idea. I like the idea. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just want to let you know that when we go 1 through 9, we're going to do it together. And everybody in the chat, let us know your lineup. Let's see if we correspond. So we're both in agreement that you want to see Dominguez leading off and not Grissom.
Yes.
Okay. Number 2.
Batting second, I would have Cody Bellinger bat second behind Jason Dominguez. Obviously, Aaron Judge, the Golden Boy, was in the 2 spot before. Not today. I'm moving him down until he earns that right to come back up. He's moving down in the lineup. We saw the Dodgers do the same thing with Teoscar Hernandez. The only difference with that was he was actually performing, so they moved him up in the lineup, which should be the standard. If the Dodgers can do it, the Yankees can do it. I think Dominguez and Bellinger back-to-back work really, really well, so I'm doing that.
Okay. Yes, I do like that. You have a much better chance possibly going, having 2 guys on right away. And then the third batter scares me, but let's see if we agree on the third batter.
Third batter, Golden Boy, Aaron Judge. What do you think?
Why?
Well, there is a possibility that if the first couple base runners get on, I think there is a chance because Aaron Judge has seen Bieber a lot more than he's seen the other pitcher that we faced the other day, Trey Savage, that more of a chance that he's going to either get a hit or he'll run into a home run, or eventually they'll be scared of him and they're going to have to work a walk. And I think if Bellinger and Dominguez get on base, then you can't just straight up walk him because then you have the bases loaded for ? In the 4 hole. So what do you think about that?
Yeah. So, okay. So we're going to dissect the 3. So we got Dominguez, Bellinger, Judge. Mm-hmm. Those are the first 3. Okay. Who's your cleanup hitter tonight to start out the game?
My cleanup hitter tonight is Giancarlo Stanton. That's who I think will have I think he's really going to start turning it on today. The fact that it's an elimination game. Again, if the bases are loaded, they're going to definitely pitch to him. And if he gets a good pitch to hit, then forget about it. I think he's going to have a good game today. And, he's gotten a few hits in the last couple games. Hopefully he keeps that momentum up. We need him to. So I would have Stanton in the 4-hole.
I'm not a big fan of Judge and Stanton together, because when they're slumping, they look like peapons on a stick. That's my only concern, but I'll have to go with that tonight because we need basically everybody in there. So I'll go with that. Okay, so batting fifth.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I just wanted to say, this is what we would do. This is not what we think the Yankees are going to do. This is what Joe and I think are going to happen. This is what we want to happen. Not what we think is going to happen. So it's just
everybody has a mouth here in the chat. Please put in your lineup. It's not going to be right or wrong. It's your opinion. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
all
fifth.
Right. Batting fifth, I would have Paul Goldschmidt. Batting fifth. Ben Rice has been struggling. And again, this is one case where you can't just look at the analytics. You have to have a feel for the player. And, Ben Rice has struggled a lot in this series. He hasn't picked up on the splitter. He hasn't picked up on the changeup. And I think it's only right for him today to take a seat and have Paul Goldschmidt, the guy who has a lot of experience in the playoffs, be the one to manage that fifth hole spot today in the lineup.
Okay. I'm okay with it. That's not my number one choice. You might think I'm nuts, Evan, but you know what? I would like to put Austin Wells fifth today.
Okay.
I've got an incredible feeling about Austin Wells tonight. Just have that feeling. I think he should be batting fifth tonight. That's, again, my opinion. Sixth.
All right. Batting sixth, I would have Jazz batting sixth. Obviously, you can have that sort of speed in the lineup. That would be helpful. Obviously, just with Paul Goldschmidt, its ability to get on base, I think Jazz Chisholm hitting behind him would be helpful. And if he gets on base, then you can do a lot of things. And I think I would have Jazz at 6.
Me too. I like that. I like the speed element. I like Jake is saying something. Let's bring this up, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
You want to read it? Go ahead.
Yeah. According to reports, Stanton laid into his teammates while also challenging them to play up to their talent. Where's Judge in all of this? He doesn't deserve to be captain. Yeah, I saw that article yesterday too.
Stanton said that?
Well, I think that was referring to something that happened earlier in the season, not that happened right now. But of course, we need a leader, and someone needs to step up in that locker room. And I think Stanton is that guy.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when the year that Stanton was hitting the 59 home runs, it was low key, but it did happen. I remember he got interviewed while he was with the Marlins, and he was being asked about Judge, and he basically just said something like, "Who's this Judge? I'm doing my thing right now. I have no comment on somebody I know nothing about." So I never forgot that, and I've always thought that Judge, there's a little, nothing like A-Rod and Jeter, because we all know at that one point Jeter could not stand his guts. But there is a little friction there. We never even touched upon that. I wish I could go back to that interview. I believe it was on Fox, if I'm not mistaken. He was asked the question, and he wasn't too thrilled about that. So I don't know, but if he did say that, it takes a lot from Stanton to say something like that. I mean, what I don't like about Judge, to be honest with you, I don't like his smirk. There's just something about him that doesn't rest. I mean, he can't back it up. He doesn't back up his smirk. He doesn't back up anything. And that's not on Boone. I mean, what is Boone going to do? Going to go to Judge and say, be a captain? Come on. He's not going to do that. And I don't know. I just find it, I don't know, odd. We'll get back to the lineup. Sherry, good. Hey, how you doing? Good luck tonight, guys. May the best team win. Love your podcast, guys. I guess that means you definitely subscribe, right, Sherry? Thank you. Really appreciate it. Please press the like button. I didn't get it, Sherry. Who would you root for? I'm not sure. Was it? I don't remember. I don't want to say and sound like a banana head. So tell us who you like, who you really like in baseball. Thank you. All right, let's go to Celia. Joe, that was when they were struggling early in the season. That shows the mentality of the team and Boone, who's not getting on his players. It's too lax in the locker room and reflects it. Yeah, but that's also on Judge. Judge has to come out and he has to be a leader. See, yes. Derek Jeter came out and he was vocal. All he had to do was stand in that room in the middle, and they all listened. He didn't say much, but they knew what he meant. It's sort of like a captain of like Mark Messier of the Rangers. He didn't have to say much, but they were more like with Messier than they were with Mike Keenan. And that's what's happening. And with Joe, they respected Joe Torre, but they also were very, very, very skeptical. I mean, they were like, we better listen to Jeter and wake up. Sherry, sorry, guys. Most of you have come to, the Jays. Okay. All right. That's fine, Sherry. I mean, listen, we respect you 100%. And may the better team win. It's as simple as that. Ken has his lineup. Okay, go ahead. Read it, man.
All right. We got Caballero, Bellinger, Judge, Goldie, Jazz, Stanton, Grisham, Rosario, and JC Escara. Okay.
Whoa. That's a change. Sheesh. That's a change. All right, Ken, you got to explain. You have to explain all of this. This is weird against the right-hander. So you have Escara, Grissom, Chaz, and Bellinger as your lefties, and Jose, Judge, and who else as a right, and Goldie as your righty. Okay, all right. Little out there, but okay, Ken. I know you know best, so it's a very, very good. It's a good observation. I would like to hear your thoughts on that. I guess so. Escara, obviously, your first. Catching. I don't know if I would leave Wells off for tonight. I like the way he's hitting right now.
Joe, we have to finish our lineups.
What was that?
We have to finish our lineups. We have to finish giving our lineups.
Yeah, no, I know. I just want to get a few people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be quick. So 6th, we have Jazz. 7th, I have Austin Wells. 8th, I have Volpe. And the 9th, I have Ryan McMahon.
Okay. I can live with that lineup. But I would honestly like to see Jose in there somewhere.
Okay.
I can live with the lineup. But I would like to see Jose somewhere, lurking. And if it means taking out Stanton in the middle innings, well, so be it.
Of course, I'll be fine with that.
Yeah. No, they'd have to do that. No, I think the lineup, you and I basically agree. I just want to make sure that, it's all hands on deck, as we all know, just like in that Red Sox game. But, Cam was just ridiculously good. I mean, you know, Rendon, he's got to keep the ball in the ballpark. That's what he's got to do tonight. So, you know, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see how how that goes. I want to say hello to Bosak. How you doing? Like Trout, he will never win a ring. It's possible. It's possible. I have no argument with you, Bosak, because he's got, you know, he hasn't done it. He just hasn't. He's a great player. We all know that. But there's something that goes on in his mind when we go into the playoffs. When the Yankees go in the playoffs, something's different. Now, people are going to argue about, oh, well, he's batting 400. When is he getting the hits? When the Yanks are down 11 runs? When is he getting the hits? That's my thing. But good take, Bosak. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. Please keep watching. And if you can, press the like button and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. Let's go to Michael. Michael, good morning. Boone might start Goldie and sit either Rice or Wells. Well, Rice deserves to sit today. I'm sorry. But that is about as far as I see Boone going with this lineup. Possible, unless the meeting of the minds with Cashman and the whole Nutty staff. Yeah, I would say that. I mean, I don't see where. I'll be honest with you. I don't see where Grisham deserves to play tonight. I really don't. I mean, he's been good all year, but I'm tired of him starting the game with a strikeout. Tired of it. You know, let's try somebody else there. Like Evan said, why not? Why not? Back to Sherry. If the Jays beat up Rodon early, who do you think Boone will put in relief and so forth? Wow. I would think Tim Hill right away. You know, I don't know. The performance that Blackburn was okay, but I think for an inning or two to settle things down, to me, it would be Tim Hill. That's who I think. And, you know, I know you, and you're a Jays fan. I mean, kudos to you, man. You got a very, very good team there. I think the bullpen is okay, but you're hitting. You've got some stars. And honestly, I don't think you'll miss Brissett if he leaves. I don't think you're going to miss him all that much. Yeah, and Celia just brought out a good point. Duvall has been pitching very well. This is the Duvall they brought in. But I would think they would bring in Hill to calm everything down and then go to Duvall. That's my opinion. Yeah, Tim Hill, Duvall had been only two pitches that have looked good in this series. Yep, no question about it. And, you know, we haven't really seen our closer, which I like to definitely see tonight, without a doubt. Without a doubt, I want to see our closer tonight. So let's see how that develops. Boone will put Weaver in because he's in love. Hey, Charles, I don't think he's in love with him. I just think he wants to give him confidence. But unfortunately, we can't give anybody confidence tonight. It's all for one and one for all in this Yankee lineup. We can't fool around tonight, guys. This is it. Just like with the Red Sox series, it's inning by inning and blow to blow. So Yankees, I mean, Rendon's got to have a 1-2-3 inning. They got to keep the fans in the flow. The Yankees have to come out very aggressive. And if the Yankees can get 2-3 runs in the first inning, they will. I think we'll be okay. I really do. But it's all in the pudding. It's all there, and I just hope that they're hungry enough to start taking it by the horns. I really do. So, but Evan, there was a game last night. I don't know if you got to see any more of the Milwaukee game, But how
Mhm.
do you like that? In the first inning, you get a 3-run homer. In the bottom half of the first inning, you get a 3-run homer. I mean, baseball is
Oh
so
yeah.
unpredictable. It really is. So now they lead in the series. The Dodgers lead. It's going to be a good series if it came down to Dodgers and Milwaukee. So that would be. I think a lot of people are pulling for that. With Milwaukee, they have magic. They just have magic, and everybody they put in that lineup, anybody they put in
Right.
that lineup is just unbelievable.
The Brewers are
And
very creative with their pitching. Right. They had a reliever start last night, but then they put in Jacob Mizorowski, who throws over 100 miles an hour. He had 31 pitches last night that were calculated at over 100 miles an hour. So very, very impressive stuff. And Pat Murphy is a great manager with the Brewers. His lineups are always consistent, and they always play good baseball over there in Milwaukee.
Bo Sox says, if the Yankees get eliminated, who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for the Brewers. That's my team. Milwaukee
Yeah,
Brewers.
it's hard to believe we'd come out of the American League. I don't know. I'm not sure if I would go to that. I mean, I think I respect Milwaukee, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I may go with Detroit a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm not crazy about being an American leaguer and going for that. But I mean, you can. I'm just not sure I've ever done that before. So the only time I did and I hate to say it because we have a Red Sox fan in here, but when it was the Mets and the Red Sox, I'm sorry I couldn't root for the Red Sox with everything that goes on with the Yankees. But I respect your team and I respect who you like, and we really love for you to be here. So thank you. Let's go back to Sherry. Let's see what she has to say.
Good comment by Sherry here.
If Bibby throws a first pitch strikes, it's lights out. Watch for the first 2 pitches tonight from him. That will dictate the game. Well, yeah. I agree with you, Sherry. Very smart. Very. You're right. 100%. I always said the first inning, will make the rest of the game, and if his first couple of pitches are in, we might be. And again, and I hate to say it again, but it's the umpires I'm worried about. The way they call these games. And that's what I love, with our guest hopefully coming up soon, Tom Gordon, will testify. An umpire could make or break you, in one scoop. In one scoop. Let's see. I wouldn't complain if Boone sits Volpe plays cabbie, but I see no way that Boone does that. Yeah,
No.
but why would he? I mean, Volpe has looked really good now. Why would you want to sit him? He's had incredible. He's played great defense. He's a great double play combination with Chaz. I wouldn't be so fast in sitting Volpe right now. He didn't do it. He didn't do it when months when Volpe was doing nothing. A lot of fans, some big media personalities like Michael Kay, said that they think it's suspicious. Yeah, I know. I know. I didn't even want to get into that because it's ridiculous. If the Yankees think that the Toronto's cheating because we've been cheated by before, that's why they're saying that. But like Michael Cade's, and that's a good point, Bosak. Thank you for that. I listened to Michael Kay's rant yesterday, and he says, prove it that they're doing it. Instead of proving that, go out and play some good ball.
Yes.
When you got swept 4 games, that's when the dynamic of the American League changed, the American League East. So go out and prove it. I mean, you want to prove, you want to think that something's going on? Okay, then go ahead. But in the meantime, try to play a little better baseball. It might help. It might help. Right away, when a team's not doing well, they're cheating. I mean, if that's what Houston did to baseball. Because of the Astros, every narrative is, oh, they're cheating. Oh, they're taking steroids. Oh, they got to wire it up. Oh, and this I blame all on the Astros because of what they pulled. And it's never going to go away. And for teams that do really well, they're going to be knocked for it.
Yeah.
Oh, this one definitely on. Let's check him. He's on steroids. I mean, listen, I'm not a big fan of Kirk, but he's hitting like Babe Ruth right now. I mean, maybe a couple of years ago I would have said he should be checked. But you know what? Don't throw the ball down the middle. Let him like they do, like they make Judge. They make him lunge for the ball. Let him run for the ball. They give these great pitches right down the middle. Of course he's going to get it. You give that pitch to Giancarlo Stanton, and that ball's going to go to Massachusetts. So come on. I mean, but you can't cry baby about this. Go out and prove that you're as good or better than Toronto. You can't. And then, bad job by Weaver. I mean, first we thought it had to do personally. Now it's because he thinks everything he throws, he's tipping his pitches. I mean, how do you come up with that? Keep it quiet and keep working at it that you're not tipping pitches if that was what you think. You kind of look stupid right now. They're laughing at us. They're laughing at the Yankees. The only way you don't laugh at the Yankees is go out there, play your game, win these next 2 games, and force a game 5. But right now, we are being laughed at. It's a joke.
Really
Let's go to HH. If the Jays aren't cheating, something is wrong with the Yankees. They're not. Listen, you gotta prove it. Prove it to the league. I mean, you don't think the league's watching? I mean, come on. What can they possibly be doing? You can't steal signs because you got the mechanism that barely works now. So it can't be stealing of signs. What are they doing? What can they possibly see? There's no trash cans. I mean, I don't understand the logic here. If the Yankees won a few games, they wouldn't be talking about cheating. And I'm not saying the Yankees are crying over spilled milk. But please, enough. And this always comes down thanks to the Astros. If it wasn't for them, this would never happen. They ruined baseball. The Yankees need to be better at hiding their ball. All right. If that's the case, I mean, can you judge the way they're holding the ball that, a fastball's coming or something like that? Maybe they have a secret. I don't know. Maybe Don Mattingly sees something. I have no idea. But to say that they're cheating, I'm sorry. Go out and play better baseball. That's all I'm going to say on that. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. And let's play the game. Those days of cheating, I hope, are over. I wonder how easy it is actually to tap into a pitch.com system. People, that's a great question, Bosak. That is a great question. Who knows? You get a genius and pay him handsomely. They might be able to. I don't know. I just pray to God that that's not anything we have to worry about. I'm not saying the Jays are cheating, but all I know is we can't get anybody out in the lineup. Yeah, Michael, you know why? Do you see the way we're pitching to these guys? Do you ever see something low and outside? They throw the ball down the middle. to Kirk. They throw the ball down the middle. They don't do that to Judge. Look at the strikeout to Judge. He's swinging. He should have been in the dugout where the ball was. He had no business swinging at that pitch. The Yankees laid the ball down the middle. What do you want? Anybody can hit it. The Yankees are going to show up tonight. I agree with you, Sean. I'm not going against that. I think our post-game show is going to be a very happy show tonight, getting ready for tomorrow. But we got to win the innings. We have to win the innings. Michael, Jays have been hitting that way for most of the season.
That's true.
Yeah, they had that little lull, and they have good players. I mean, you have a rejuvenated George Springer. You got the Barger, who's really good. Vaso out of nowhere, this guy was batting .211, and I thought that was the worst trade that they made last year. Now he's coming up aces. He's absolutely been a godsend for them. And then there's Clement. I mean, they have a lot of Jimenez. They have a lot of guys that are clutch. What the Yankees don't have. Yankees have names, but the Rays have the quality. We have the quantity, but they have the quality. There's two different narrations there. Blake is all analytics. He's not good at fixing mechanical issues with pitches. Okay. All right. That's fair enough. If Michael says, I think that Matt Blake should be fired after this season. I don't think that's going to happen, Michael. I think a lot of coaches are going, but I don't think he's going to go. He's a guru, and hopefully with Flash Gordon coming on, I'd like to ask him that question. It's over is back. How you doing? Kirk was locked in at the plate, not just in the middle, crushing fastballs up in the zone. The sinker's down in the zone for home runs. Check MLB Game Day to see where he hit that pitch. Yeah, listen, I'm just making an observation. The Yankee pitchers throw the ball too much over the plate, where the other ones are counting on the Yankees to swing and miss. That's all I was saying. Of course, it doesn't have to be picture perfect down the middle. Of course not. But I'm just saying that the Yankee pitchers lately, they're aside from Cam, I mean, who else has pitched good in this team? Nobody. Everybody's thrown meatballs up there. It was like they were playing with us. It looked like I'm telling you, it was like the Savannah Bananas were out there. They might as well just start dancing. Because I mean, we were embarrassed. I mean, this has been an embarrassing series. We need to change it tonight, and I mean immediately. Make a statement, take a lead, and keep it. Hey, Charles. Good morning to you. How's it going? It's not the pitching coach. I agree with you, Charles. I wouldn't. Clutch is the word, Sherry, without a doubt. And batting coach Popkins for the Jays deserves a lot of credit for the Jays hitting. Yes, he does. Yeah. He does. But you have quality hitters there, and you don't even have Bo Bichette in there, and he's a great hitter. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I don't even think you're going to miss him as a free agent. I don't even think you need him. Really. Joe, I think it's more of the matchup. None of the Yankee pitchers have done well against this team, including Cam. Right. Okay. Totally understandable. But, Celia, we got to find a way. Rendon's got to find a way. Otherwise, we'll be looking at waiting for February for next year. And I just don't think the book is written yet. The paragraph is not done. It's still unwritten. The book is still open. And I still believe the Yanks are going to make going to make some noise here. I really do. The Yankees need a hitting coach like David. He's only 35 years old. Our current hitting coach, Ronson, isn't doing a good job. That I agree. I never liked that pick. He wasn't a great with the Detroit Tigers. I definitely agree with that. I would love to have somebody else, but who? Who would want to do it? I mean, I would love Ichiro. Ichiro would be great, but I don't think he'd do it. We're keeping Bo, believe you me. I don't know about that, Sherry. I think he has aspirations to go to the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are waiting with open arms. That's what I'm hearing in the industry. He's just waiting. Obviously he hopes to do well with Toronto, but I don't think you need him anymore. I think you're fine. You don't need him in that lineup, especially if you're growing with Clement and you have Jimenez. Jimenez is very underrated, by the way. Jimenez is a good player. The Mets missed out on him. He really, Hideki Matsui might be a great hitting coach. I don't think he'll take it because he doesn't want to be tied. Yes, because he doesn't want to be tied down. He wants to go back and forth to Japan. Tino Martinez would make a wonderful batting coach. But I don't think a lot of these players, they just don't want to do it. They don't want it. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see. So I don't know. Evan, what do you feel?
Honestly, it doesn't matter who the hitting coach is as long as the analytics department doesn't change. And if they keep all the same guys in there, then you can have, the best hitting coach there is possible out there. Nothing will really change. That's why none of these guys are really going to take the job unless they have full control. That's what I believe. Like, you got to let the hitting coach do their work.
I like the idea of Scott Brocious, but he's coaching in college. I seriously doubt he's going to leave.
Unfortunately, I don't think any of these guys are going to take the job.
What do you call? Let's see. Paul O'Neill will not take it. You're lucky he travels with the team when he's announcing. He's not going to be, he can't really do that. So I don't know. We'll see. There's some great guys out there. I mean, I know a lot of people ask for Johnny Damon. Maybe, he could be a help in bunting. He can help in and all of that. But no, I don't see it. I don't know. A lot of people like Sean Casey. He doesn't want to leave his daughters. He's happy. He's happy with what he's doing. And, he'll do the MLB network and all of that. So, and I honestly don't want Shelley Duncan. I don't think he'd make a good coach. He's okay. Sean Browning is going Frank Thomas. I don't think he's going to go to going back to 162 games traveling. You got to understand with all of these players, for all the years that they travel, some of them have had it. They don't want to. They'll do a guest appearance here and there, but it's a hassle. And as you get older, you slow down a little bit. You don't want to go to California, Toronto, here, there, and everywhere. You got to get somebody who's so dedicated, dedicated to it. So I don't know. Hey, JT, welcome to the stream. Let's see what you're rolling in. I heard an interview that Manny Ramirez is interested in being a hitting coach for a ball club. Yes, he is, actually. He is. I don't know how that's going to sit well with Yankee fans. It would be intriguing. It would be intriguing, but I don't think that's going to happen. How about you? Well, Evan, I don't know. Did you see a lot growing up of Manny Ramirez?
I saw towards the end of his Boston career. Yeah.
Yeah, he just absolutely killed the
It was
Yankees.
tough. Him, Big Poppy, you had Pedroia, you had all those guys, Ortiz.
Yeah, about Detroit, there was Bill Miller, Dave Roberts, Trot Nixon. That team just went absolutely deep on us. You're writing, Sherry. I wish the Yankees played more like the Blue Jays. Absolutely love the way the Jays play. Yeah, because like Evan, good point. They meet the ball. It's like ball meet bat, bat meet ball, and it's just I don't know. It's crazy. It's I don't know. I'm still in the belief. I'm still in the belief that the Yankees are going to come back. They're going to play a strong game tonight and then go from there. And let's see, William, new here on the stream. Oh, just missed. All right, we got Sherry. Evan, I love the way they play too. It's really fun to watch. And when they get homers, it's more electric. Yeah, you're hitting home runs. You're hitting bombs. So I don't know, man. I mean, if Toronto does make it past this series, would you bet against them going into the World Series? I don't know.
Not at all. Nope, not at all. The way that they play is very sustainable. So, no, I wouldn't put it past them to make the World Series at all. Nope.
Let's see. Celia, let's go back to oh, no, I was going to do William. I'm sorry, William. From a Jays fan, win or lose, I love this year. Go Jays, go. Oh, yeah.
Good luck to you,
what's not to love about it? What's not to love about it? I'm being totally honest with you. And me being a Yankee fan for many years and an avid fan, I got to agree with you. The Jays have been have had a great year. You've gotten the best out of like so many players. I mean, nobody's disappointed really. And look at Vaso. I mean, he came out of nowhere. He was doing nothing for you guys, and then all of a sudden it just snapped. The lights went on, and he's gone crazy. So I give him a lot of credit. I give the Blue Jays a lot of credit. But I got to be honest with you. One thing, I do not like the manager. I don't like the way he portrays himself. He may be good for you guys. I understand that. I don't like him as a manager. But other than that, I have nothing against the Blue Jays. It's win fair or square. I mean, I want the Yankees to win. I really do. Yankees Panthers to get to Shane early. The Yankees have cooked Shane before in Cleveland. Yes, they have. Mm-hmm. Get him out early to get the Jays pen because tomorrow it's Jays pen game and their pen isn't good.
Yeah. We got to win today first.
Yeah, we got to win today. Everybody's saying that, but everybody that's coming out of the pen is throwing gas. I don't see where it's so bad. All right, there was one pitcher that did get, but everybody else is throwing gas. So, is it as bad? Maybe the numbers are bad, but right now everything's clicking for them. And on top of that, they had a week off, which is surprising that they were so into it. So I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. Evan, can you read the it's over's comment?
Yeah. Exposing a key Yankees weakness. If New York wants to keep up, they need to follow Toronto's lead and prioritize tough, disciplined at-bats that grind out at-bats. Yeah, definitely agree. It's kind of like what the Red Sox did to us when they beat us in the playoffs a couple years ago. 2018, this series reminds me a lot of that too, when the Red Sox were, just putting bat to ball, putting it in play, and the Yankees weren't doing that at all. And, the other team gets the advantage that way. Putting the ball in play is very, very important in the playoffs, and the Yankees just don't do that. So when other teams do that, they exploit the Yankees' weaknesses. They make a lot of errors. And, when the Yankees struggle at putting the ball in play, it's They strike out a lot, and that's not a good thing. You don't want that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Let's see who else. So, did we get Mark's? Mark, how you doing? Oh, I think I got this. Yeah, no, I had gotten Mark. Okay, I don't want to forget anybody. Did we get Celia's intake on this? Contact the Yankees have too many. Oh, okay, yeah. It's the way the lineup is constructed. The Jays have a ton of contact hitters. Yeah. That's what. Remember, I was screaming about that. Let's get a contact hitter. Let's get contact hitting. They got a few, but they're not playing. The Yankees have too many or strikeout hitters.
Yeah,
I agree, and that is a big problem. And the Yankees need if the Yankees get ousted for once in a blue moon, they've got to stop with this home runs.
Please,
that's the problem.
Get some contact hitters in the offseason, please. I'm tired of seeing all these strikeouts.
Yeah, without a doubt. Totally tired of seeing strikeouts. That's why I don't even want the guy from Japan. He's a strikeout king.
Don't want him.
I don't want him. We don't need him. You got Belly. You can put him on first base. You have other guys who play the outfield. That's it. That's it. Keep it the way it is.
Yep.
Just keep it. Yeah, just keep it the way it is. And you can't go wrong. Honestly, you really can't. So, listen, guys, I'm baffled, but I'm very, very confident. I really think the Yanks are going to do something tonight, and something good. I really do. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and that's all there is to it. But I really believe that that they are going to do something well today. And remember, everyone, and we are waiting for Flash Gordon. Something is going on. I'm not sure if it's the connection. We are getting word from we're getting word from Nitin. They're working on something, and hopefully it'll get straightened out. I'm sorry about that, guys, but don't give up hope. We're going to try to stay on as long as we can to get Flash Gordon on here. So hang in there on that. But we're having great discussions right now. And if it doesn't happen now, maybe 4 o'clock. I don't know. We'll see. But, I don't know. Let's see. Hey, listen, I just know if let's say the Yankees lose, Evan, what's the first thing you would want this team to do in the offseason? Honestly, from your heart, honestly.
First thing, to me, it's making changes in the front office. Doesn't necessarily mean firing Cashman. And part of me, this is what I want to happen, not totally feel that's going to happen. Obviously, I would like Cashman and Boone to be fired, but they're not going to do that. Let's just be honest. So the first thing that I would want them to do is make changes in the front office. And whether that's firing some people from the front office that work with the analytics, yes, like Michael Fishman, the head of the analytics department, Brian Cashman's assistant GM, yes, you must get rid of him. Get rid of these other guys that just focus on the stats, the numbers, because it's not working out in the playoffs. I don't care how many regular season wins you have. I don't care how well you do in the regular season. Because we see the flaws that this team has every single year. They're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. And that's not a good, consistent way to play. And that comes from the analytics point of view in the front office. So I want changes to be made there. That's the first thing that I want to happen.
Okay. Yeah. I do too. But I also think that this coaching staff it just absolutely lacks everything. I don't see anything good coming out of this coaching staff. I really don't. I think they're not vocal. They're not vocal enough. And it's like, I mean, Are they alive or what? I want a vocal guy. Somebody take over. I mean, even, hey, Jared, how you doing? And T-Road, welcome to the stream. I want somebody, even Brad Asmus, he's very subdued. You need somebody there. Somebody to, pat them a little bit on the tush. Do something. I mean, they just sit there like, they're looking at their iPads. I don't know what they're looking at because nothing changes. And I don't get it. I just don't understand the logic. I really don't understand the logic. So we'll see. And that's it. I have no idea. I can't even imagine what will happen afterwards. You think the New York Mets have problems? The Yankees have a lot of decisions to make. 2 center fielders are going to be free agents, or one is going to opt out and one's contract is off. And I would bet that one of them would come back, definitely not both. I just don't see it. I think Trent Grisham just has had a very nice year. I don't think he's this dramatic.
No.
He's a good player, but he's not a 35 home run hitter. I mean, Come on, guys. I don't see it. He's just had a breakout year, just like a lot of guys. It's just one of those things. And it came at a nice time, but the Yankees, they're stuck with people like Stanton for another 2 years unless they want to eat the money. Celia, it shouldn't take Stanton to get guts to get our guys going. You need coaches and the captain to get these guys going. The lax attitude reflects the performance on the field. They need to clean house. Yeah, nobody can argue with you, Celia. You're 100% right. You are 100% right. And if God forbid we lose tonight or tomorrow, you can rest assured the next show, we're all going to sit down and we're going to dissect this team one by one. What do we really want to see in the offseason? There's enough talk there that will get us all the way to March. So there's never going to be a boring show because we can dissect this Yankee team from every level. I mean, and another thing that I also want to bring up, they really depleted AAA. There's nobody in AAA except maybe the first baseman. We have nobody of any value. We had a couple, we traded them. Okay, I understand we needed that. But the Yankees right now, their AAA core is pathetic. They have nobody. They have a bunch of has-beens, and they have Spencer Jones and maybe the first baseman. That's about it. You can't look down there. What are they going to bring in? Andrew Velasquez? Good little player. But is he better than Jose C? No. Is he better than Rosario? No. We don't have anybody that's coming up ready. Where these other clubs, they have tons of players. So that's another story for another day. Like, why is the Yankee AAA affiliate so depleted? Have nothing. Maybe a pitcher or two?
We have a couple of good pitchers coming up.
We'll talk about Jones another day of liability. But, I mean, I'm just saying, pure talent. We only have Rumfeld. Everybody else you can have. Who's going to come up? Everybody's in AA or single A. There's nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Jared? Why not let Jason Dominguez play? That's my thought.
And mine too. We do have some pitchers coming up soon from the minor leagues, though. We do have some good pitchers, but the hitting, some of the position players, the depth is really there. We have TJ Rumfield, Spencer Jones, I think Brendan Jones, Beck, but he's a pitcher. So we'll see.
Jared, we've been saying it time and time again. We want Evan and I want Dominguez to be in there. There's no question about it. I want him in there. Let's see what we have. A small sample. I'm at what, 300, 200 at bats? Give me a break. Give me a break. Let's go to It's Over. Let's see. Well, I hope it's not over, but that's your name. Cashman isn't doing a good job identifying role players from the opposing teams. The Jays managed to find players like Nathan Luke and Clement from the Guardians. Yep. Yeah, they did. They did. You know, one thing about the Yankees, if it's not a sexy name, not going to come. They're not going to get him. They need it. Because it's the Yankees, it's got to be a sexy name. And in the prior years, people got them into the World Series that are not sexy names, like a Brian Doyle. Even Bucky Dent was okay. He wasn't a superstar, but he brought him to the promised land. They had players that were just gelled in. We're not getting that anymore. We're not getting that anymore. And that I kind of put on a little bit with Cashman. That should be, JT saying Brendan Donovan a free agent this year. I don't think so.
No,
but we'll check it for you. Okay. There was a rumor out, I think it was from Yahoo Sports, saying that Arenado of the Cardinals may be headed to the Mets for Sean Mania. I don't understand that, because I just think Arenado's getting old. Why would you want to do that? You have Beatty there. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but that's coming out of Yahoo Sports. And, maybe I think if Arenado was 3 years younger, he probably would have been a Yankee this past year. But they passed on that. I would love to have Brendan Donovan, but, believe me, the Cardinals are not going to be so fast in trading him. That's for sure. Let's see. Jared, those pitchers were thrown in there to get some experience in the playoffs. In big moments, you won't see them. All right. And everyone, I do believe our star pitcher is joining us in a couple of minutes. That's what it looks like. We're seeing. We will let you know. Oh, my God. I think he's down there. Yeah, there he is. Flash, are you ready to come up? Thumbs up. Oh, yep. Now he. Okay. All right, Flash. Well, 1 minute. All right. So everybody, the time has come to finally have a Yankee star here, and we're going to bring him up right now, and you can ask away of what you think is what he's feeling about this Yankee team right now. Tom Flash, welcome to Yankee Mania. How you doing? Joe and Evan here.
Hey, Joe, it's good to be on your show, man. Thanks for having me.
Are you kidding? A Yankee is a Yankee. It's always here. You're always welcome here, Tom. How's it going?
Well, I tell you, I'm grateful in every way. Trust me. This little phone, my grandson was here. We would have not had any glitches in the phone, but of course, my grandson is at school today. So, yeah, you guys tell me, man, what's happening? What are we doing? How's things going? I mean, how's our team feeling? I know that I can get some information on what we need, but for the most part, we got to find some key at bats, some key swings, some key runs and scores, and we need a little bit of everything, bro.
Well, I want to get into that, but right now I want to focus on you a little bit, if you don't mind. So tell us your journey and your whole journey, how you started. How did you really know when, hey, you know what, I can do this in Major League Baseball, and bringing it up with Kansas City Royals, and then a little journey, and then you came to the New York Yankees. Tell us a little bit about your journey, Tom. We'd really love to hear it.
Well, great. Well, I appreciate that. And trust me, I was a little kid drafted in the state of Florida, out of a very, very small town, but very good baseball. We had some coaches and people that really cared for the game, that actually was very enthusiastic about how they treated us in regards to teaching the game and giving us an opportunity to want to see the vision of college and maybe even pro ball. So I'm grateful that I came from a town just south of Orlando that really cared about the kids and the community and growing up in regards to sports and giving you an opportunity to actually flourish on a stage, and where sometimes you don't get seen because you're the small little town or community that everybody doesn't take or recognize. But I come from a town that was really flourishing with the sports, and I'm grateful for that. I mean, Avon Park is definitely a place that I would tell everybody, if you had an opportunity to go watch a football, basketball, or baseball game, even soccer now, stop by. The people and the food, they welcome you. And it's a great place for a family that just want to be treated like they're like country folks in regards. You know, my route to Major League Baseball, I was drafted by Kansas City, of course, in '86. And that was a dream come true for me, my mom, my dad, my family. And honestly, you know, I didn't know a whole lot about the draft. I just felt like in some ways that they gave me an opportunity to play and put a uniform on my back, it was going to be hard to take it off me. And so I went to Sarasota in 1986, and I met a guy by the name of with the Kansas City Royals, but met a guy by the name of Greg Matthews, and that man was influential. I met John Sherholtz. What a wonderful, wonderful general manager for the Kansas City Royals, but also for the Atlanta Braves. That's the reason why people and teams also wanted to be around a man like John Sherholtz. He knew the game, but he also too was one of those general managers that everybody strived to at some point play for. So I never got a chance to play for the Braves, which was the team that I watched coming up as a kid. But surely a John Sherholtz fan. But also too, I went on to Kansas City, and from Kansas City, I felt like, man, I need to get closer to the East Coast, and I got a chance to sign with the Boston Red Sox. And I think things kind of took off a little bit more for me in that regard, because Boston Red Sox gave me an opportunity to be a closer, and I felt like an everyday player. Sometimes it takes young players to realize or recognize what it is their routines set them up to become. And in a lot of ways, you know, if you're a starter and you still have good enough pitches and nasty enough stuff to where in some ways scouts and even coaches and even, you know, the front office feel like, you know, this guy best represents us. Using his tools. And I think that the tools that I had in regards to my fastball, curveballs, I could throw two different speeds with my curveball, of course. And the Red Sox felt that it was the best place for me is to be a reliever. And I felt like an everyday player. And I'm grateful for that, because everyday players to me felt like I had to have a routine, come out and play every day, practice on something, get better each and every day, and not let go of a dream. Because as you know, in spring training, man, there's every single young player coming out there throwing 95 to 100 miles an hour. And here I was averaging anywhere from 93 to 96, give or take, with some control. But those young players was after my job, and I was trying to keep my job. So I got the chance to be a 21-year ex-major leaguer and play in Yankee Stadium, to be one of the teams to wear one of the players to wear the pinstripes. My God, that was I'm like Ric Flair in that moment. Woo! That was something else. Woo! That was something else. And I can understand how the Flair man feels when he talks about the woo he has in his step, because like I said, I give you I'll give you a little nugget, guys. I had the first locker coming into the clubhouse, and I thought in regards that if the Yankees, Joe Torre and George Steinbrenner, all these great people loved the way I played, then I'd stay here and they'd move my locker at some point. But with that first locker, if at any point in time they didn't like how I played, I wasn't doing as well as I should be, and they released me, nobody had to see me walk outside the clubhouse and leave with tears in my eyes.
That's funny.
So I told, my locker was the very first locker when you walk into the home clubhouse, very first one. There was an open locker, then there was Mariano's, and of course, I told Mo, I said, Mojo, I said, if they don't, if things don't work out, then I can just slide running out and go on to another team, and nobody knew I was ever here. He says, trust me, things will work out. The way your routine is, how you prepare, the way you go about it, your faith, and all those things that you represent, the Yankees will welcome you. And I was grateful because I was welcomed.
Oh yeah, no, you had some great games with the Yankees, and you're the motivator going into Mariano Rivera, so that was such a great time. That led into my next question. What did when you walked in there? Is it like everybody says that there's nothing like you have to try the pinstripes at least once in your carear? Is is
There's
that
nothing.
is that
Yes, that is an absolute true statement, and I would say this because I had been with Kansas City, been of course with Boston, then with Chicago, and the day that I got the phone call, I was actually fishing. I was fishing in Hunters Creek, and I got a phone call from a few different people with the Yankees saying that, hey, we'd love to actually sit and talk with you. And I just remember the adrenaline and the rush that came over me because I wanted to actually hear what they have to say. But also, I remember the one saying, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And
anywhere?
all I wanted was for my parents to see two parents that were migrant workers that worked so hard that gave their entire lives to a community in regards to their families, being humanitarians, also being involved in the community, giving back, donating food. Our church is very relevant in the community. I felt like this was an opportunity for my dad to see me a little bit more if I actually got into New York. And of course, guys, it was dream come true because every single thing, everything that's about being a Yankee or being a player in that uniform is awesome to the player, but also awesome to the families. My family got a chance to enjoy a treat for 2 years, and I wish it had gone on a few more. Of course, I wasn't sure if I was going to be healthy enough to play, but that was a dream come true. And the people that you meet in that clubhouse, the captain, no doubt. There's nothing like every day being in a clubhouse and whether you have the answer or you don't, but you know that you can go over to Derek Jeter and speak to him, or you can go to Alex and Sheffield and Ruben Sierra and some of the great players that have played in the game and just get advice from them. Mariano Rivera was the best teammate I'd ever been with in my life. And sometimes, he could pick me apart. But the bottom line is he also gave me advice in regards to me being a player. He helped me solidify my routine. And I think that gave me about 7 more years added to my career because the great Mariano was willing to help me, but also to give me some inspiration.
Tom, take us into what was it like for you to be in the playoffs with the Yankees, and is it a different playoff for you wherever you were and you win a playoff or whatever? What is the feeling? The fans, the bleacher creatures, everything. How did you play into that?
The thing with the Yankees in the playoffs is I never realized I made it to the playoffs until I got to Boston, the Red Sox series. That Yankee Red Sox series was it was almost like a moment of guys that I hear in the state of Florida that have played in the Florida Gators rivalry. However, I never got a chance to play at that level in college, but I got a chance to play at the level of being a Yankee facing the Red Sox and the Red Sox facing the Yankees. And I have never had more chills in my entire life. I had never had a feeling of being a professional in some regards to like, wow, overwhelmed. I remember being in the clubhouse when Hank Aaron came in there in New York at the Yankee Stadium. I remember when Bill Clinton came in. I remember when Donald Trump. I remember when everybody that had an opportunity to be a Yankee fan or experience the Yankee nostalgia would come through the clubhouse. And I realized I actually made it. And that's how it felt. It made you feel alive. It made you feel like there was something to accomplish every single day. And whether you win or lose, don't get me wrong, winning is the most important thing for an organization that has strived to be the best in all of everything that they do. However, at the same time, there's no doubt that that organization has given every player an opportunity to strive and be the best that they can possibly be. I have never, ever, in the 8 organizations I've been in, all of them have done a great job. I salute every single one of them. But I'm grateful for that opportunity to get that moment of feeling the excitement of the Yankee Red Sox rivalry as a Yankee and as a Red Sox. But that Yankee Stadium is something to be remembered. In regards to, I can actually close my eyes every single night and wake up with a dream about me coming into a game and knowing that Joe and Mel Stoudemire says, let's bring Flash into this game. It's just something about it. I remember taking that jog from center field and just seeing my teammates clapping their hands. You know how Jeet is. Jeet is the one player, when you look at him, he's happy about something, he just claps his hand. I mean, it's just amazing. And Alex, I remember one day, we were headed out to Seattle on a long flight, and my teammate, one of the greatest teammates I ever had in my life, Alex Rodriguez, and he kind of poked his head through the seats, and he says, Flash, you know the reason why we're here? And I said, no. I mean, well, I knew that we were all really, really talented, and we had a really good team. He said, but young man, little buddy, he said, little buddy. That's what he called me, little buddy. I was like, man, I got little buddy, but I'm a big arm. And little buddy, you're one of the great reasons we're here. And I said, Alex, man, I can't thank you enough. And although I called him homie because he's from Miami, I can't thank him enough. I can't thank all those guys enough. I can't thank George Steinbrenner enough for the opportunities of being and becoming a Yankee.
So I mean, obviously you treasured every moment, this is what everybody wants to hear. And right now everybody has so many questions for you, but I think Evan has something for you before we get into the chat. Go ahead, Evan.
Yeah, first of all, Tom, I really appreciate your story. You had to build a name for yourself, and it's not easy to do that coming from Florida, like you said, and being on the Royals, being on the Red Sox. It must have been very, very interesting and exciting for you to join the Yankees. So obviously, I'm kind of a younger fan. I'm 21 years old. I didn't see you pitch, but from what I've seen and from what I've heard from Joe, you're a very good pitcher and a very good leader as well. So, thank you for all that you did with the Yankees. My question for you, how would you kind of prepare for a playoff game in today's game, and how similar or different would it be compared to from when you pitched?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, it's pretty much similar in a lot of regards. I think the game has revolved into more scouting in regard to there's a lot more coaches involved that gives you more information. So you have to utilize that. I think the players that come to realize that the scouting reports work for the most part, anywhere from 65 to 70% of the time. I think sometimes we don't get those numbers, but the bottom line is just 65 to 70% of the time the scouting report works. And then you think about a player that's very athletic, also to a player that's very instinctual. He has a little bit more of a feel for the game. I remember, and I take this as something very special because every good shortstop would say, not only do I see the pitch, but I also try to watch the sign. And with that, then he has to watch the swing. So a lot of times, great players like, DJ, one of the greatest players, one of the greatest shortstops in the game, he was never out of position because he watched the swing, he knew the player, he knew the pitch, and he had a pretty good idea of the sign. So what we were doing was making sure that we all worked together to revolve something that was going to give us a chance to get one out. And I think a lot of times kids don't realize how important it is. And I say that a lot at Perfect Game Stuff. I do a lot of Perfect Game stuff. I do a lot of scouting and coaching and helping the kids to understand that you either want to get better and go to college or professional ball. So how you do that is connecting with the people that make you better. And to have a really good catcher in the game, like Jorge Posada, to have a great catcher in the game. That's not a really good catcher. That's a great catcher in the game. I mean, to understand each and every player's niche and what they do very well, that's a hard tool. However, Bob Boone was one of the greatest that ever caught. Caught me that I've ever experienced that had a great feel for the player coming up to bat. So I think the game today is in a lot of ways the same, but I think there's more scouting involved. There's more analytics involved. There's more eyes on the game. There's surely a way of actually utilizing all of these technologies and tools, but you just got to be able to also utilize your skill and technique. I think for a player to stay in the league as long as he wants to stay, he cannot leave or alleviate the fact that he needs to use his talents and not just totally depend on the scouting report.
Of course, very, very important.
Excellent. You know, the points. And, well, now it's going to be crunch time, Tom. I think I want to see if you're ready because the fans are a little annoyed at this Yankee team right now. So we're going to start with Bob. Bob Rizzo says, how can a team like the Yankees go into the first two games and look like they don't even belong on the field with the team, and yet they're supposed to have so many stars and should be ready? Why do you feel this happened? And how do you think the morale now on the team is coming into this possible elimination game tonight?
Well, what you have to realize, hey, that's what it is. The bottom line is sometimes you just have to be a little bit unsensitive. And with being unsensitive, what I see is teams that have actually carried themselves into a place where they're good, but at the same time, there's time for greatness. And so what you want is you want that team to gel like they should. You played 162 ball games and found out whether or not you had enough time to persevere, but also to come together. And right now, there's no time for error. And that's what the playoffs is all about. You get that 5 to 7 game series, and there's no time for error. I've been there. Remember, I was on one of the teams that lost 4 straight, and I would never, ever, in any way believe that would have happened to a team of greatness like what we had. We had enough great Hall of Famers and players that have actually achieved and overachieved than I have ever seen in my life. The bottom line is right here. The Yankees, take a very good look of themselves inside that clubhouse, and they know who they are, what they are, and how they got here. What has given us the best chance of winning each and every day, and perform with that level of expectations. Now, that's it. There's nothing else that you can do other than perform to those expectations. Because right now, just being relaxed and being calm and being, not, and don't get me wrong, I don't think anybody in that clubhouse feel too comfortable where they can just sit on the back of the heels and just sit on their hands and just think that it's going to be, we're going to toss it out. We got this. No. It's a fight to the finish. It's a fight to the finish. And I believe every player in that clubhouse, there's a fight to the finish. So they got to figure out in that room, get in that room and look at each other's faces, look in the mirror and say, what am I going to bring to this game today? And how we're going to accomplish and defeat this team across 100 feet, 100 yards away from us today.
Yes, and I agree with you. The thing is, like, Teresa's asking you, first of all, thank you for joining. She really enjoyed watching you pitch for the Yankees. And she asks, but here's the thing, Booth, they don't like change. And there are players on the bench that we feel might do a little better for the Yankees, let's say like tonight, but he loves the players to a fault. And this is what's bringing us down. And this is what she would like explained. If you can explain what the feeling is of a player that really wants to get in there. And I got to be honest with you, she's pointing out Jason Dominguez. Dominguez should have a chance on this team, and he's riding away on the field as a 22-year-old star, potential star.
Look at this, and I thank Teresa for a question, but this is what happens. A lot of times is, as a manager or a coach, a pitching coach, or a guy that pitched for a long time, I'm still doing a lot of things in regards to the excitement of the game. And sometimes my decision is based on how I feel about a person coming in that day. However, it's not to demean the person or not to demean the player. The bottom line is it's one decision that you have to make as a manager, and you try to make the very best decision. And I know Aaron is doing a great job in regards to that. I know that he knows his players well enough. The bottom line is, for me, I remember the first time I took the ball as a closer, I was always told, you never lose a game with your 34th pitch. So the player on the
Right.
bench, get me wrong, may be the best player, maybe the player with the most energy, but right now that might not be the best player for the lineup. And he has to fill the lineup up. I would rather him go with his gut, go with his feeling, go with knowing that the player that he's actually putting on the field, and I know that he is. Trust me, guys. I'm like you all. I'm like, what's happening to the team? What's going on? Why are we not finding a good fluid rhythm of hits, quality of pitching, whatever it is, whatever it takes right now? Why? And sometimes that just takes a moment to sit back and say, hey, we are looking at it as a fan, but they have to look at it 4 hours before the game. They have to scout it 3 hours before the game. They have to go through the routines over and over and over again. They play this thing. They play it through their heads over and over, night and night. The bottom line is what's best for the team right now is sometimes not what's best in our fan view. I'm a fan too now. The bottom line is sometimes I can actually take a peek in my mind and say, hey, the game is still played this way. However, I would rather the guy that's playing the game, that's on the field every single day, that also too has taken his niche, taken some beats and some lumps and some bruises. He's going to find his groove. And I think you have to go with that. That's sometimes it's the hardest thing for fans to believe, but it is sometimes the best thing and the best tactic for the players inside the clubhouse. Because the players in the clubhouse, sometimes you have 4 or 5 guys that goes into that meeting and decide that, hey, they want to be involved. And what can we do to help? And then all of a sudden we narrow it down to this. I've been there. I was one of those players that sat in the meetings at 3:30 and 4 o'clock. And the best thing sometimes as fans, you may not think it's the right move, but it's the right move for the team, and the whole team supports it.
Kevin asked, do you really think that Aaron Judge should be the captain? Is he really a leader, or do you possibly think Giancarlo Stanton should have that role?
Listen, I best enough around some guys that are talented and just in that way. Also, too, most captains usually don't ask for that role; they just play that role out. And I think it doesn't matter which way you go; both of them still have spelt success in a lot of regards. Both of them, too, are guys that will wear their name, their initials, and every single teammate on their sleeve. So I don't think you have to decide that. I think the most important thing is knowing that the player and the players in that clubhouse, they will emphasize more than anything else that this player is a leader. And, coming into New York in 2004, I never had to once talk about the captain in the seat. I never once. But I also knew that A-Rod and Sheffield and Clemens, and I also knew that all these guys, some of these guys I didn't even play with, were captains in their own right. And so sometimes you have to just allow that to play itself out. The bottom line is Aaron Judge has done something remarkable. I sat, my seats were behind home plate. But guess what? I sat down right field line. I sat down left field line last week just to actually watch everybody play. And the bottom line is sometimes the best vision, the best seat is being away from the closest position and the closest spot. And to watch both those guys go about their business, I have no problem with whatever decision that the Yankees would make. The bottom line is this. I think what they represent and how they get ready. I saw them in spring training. I saw both guys in spring training. I saw the team in spring training. I saw the team in spring training. The players like how they go about it. And whether we want to believe that or not in a lot of ways, it doesn't matter what we say as fans, but the bottom line is sometimes we have a voice in that regard, but the players are picking the right guy. And either one of those guys could be the guy that the team goes to for information. And that makes them a captain. That makes both of them a captain.
I remember back in the day, Thurman Munson wanted no part of it. And George Steinbrenner says, too bad, you're the captain, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Mr. Steinbrenner, and it was probably the greatest interview, no pun intended to anybody, but I was scared out of my wits to interview him, and he made it so easy. He was such a what a great guy. And I wish everybody, they all see whatever they want to see and whatever the media says. But this man, I thought it was going to be the hardest interview I had to do in my life. And it was the most joyous interview I ever did. And he was just, I'm just like, is this really the man who does this, and this? I don't see it. I just don't see it. He did so many wonderful things. Nobody ever talks about it. It's always bad. It's always bad. It's always bad. And that's not right. And all they say about this Yankee team is, well, if they don't win the World Series, it's a total failure. And that's it. The year stunk. Did you get that vibe when I know.
Yeah. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I believe this in my heart of hearts is that, what the Yankees represent is the fact that we are winners. And the bottom line is this: if you don't win, then you are you're the first loser. I mean, just take it for what it is. But at the same time, those guys in the clubhouse, they go about winning every single day. Sometimes you just don't know, as a fan, as a scout, as a person outside that clubhouse, what they're actually dealing with in regards to injuries and some things that are setting them back. So that, the lineup changes. Aaron has a lot to deal with on a daily basis. And sometimes we don't get to know all of that. However, at the same time, that organization, the Yankees, will give the city, the organization, the community, everything it needs to win. Because that's what it's been about every single day, every single year, all the time. Back, the 40s, 50s. That's what the organization has been about. Being a winner, and because of you as a parent or as a family, come here and bring 2 and 3 family members to watch a game, support this organization, buys the shirts, wears a hat. We're going to give you a chance to every day see a winner. I think, to me, that's the most important thing in the game. I think that's the most important thing in the game. If I go out there through the week and I work and I can take my sons to a ball game, I at least want to see hustle. I want to see grind. I want to see the effort. I want to see everything that gives me a chance to say, son, you could be the very next. Or my daughter, you could be the greatest baseball player or softball player, whatever you want to be. Because what I'm seeing is effort. I'm seeing preparation. I'm seeing routine. I'm seeing those things that make me say as a parent, maybe I don't get to tell you as much as you want because sometimes as a parent I say it, but when the moment someone else says it, it seems like they're telling you the truth. The bottom line is I support how the Yankees have gone over and over again as being the leaders in sports and baseball, and I think they've done a hell of a job. You're taking it from me, a hell of a job with being professional. Don't delinquish that. Don't get away from that, because what'll happen is stuff will start to disarray, go all over the place. Bottom line is the Yankee way is the right way in a lot of ways. And I think there's a lot to say about that professional way. And that's a credit to George Steinbrenner, because when I met him, that's the guy and the man that I also wanted to play for.
Yeah, and then some people say, "Oh, I'll never go to that organization." Oh, they kicked my son out of the locker room, and that was that Ken Griffey Jr. story and all of that. So that's why he never wanted to go. And then there's a thing with Vladdy Guerrero. He would never want to play for the Yankees because of. So I think they were on the verge of getting his father, but George wanted Gary Sheffield. And one thing led to another, and he overruled Cashman on that. And I love Sheffield. I thought he was fantastic. I mean, I loved his drive. I loved everything about him. When he hit that ball, to me it was like Giancarlo Stanton. He could break down the Fenway Green Monster, as far as I'm concerned, because the way he hit the way he went about his business was incredible. So the knocks on the team, Hal doesn't want to win. Or, of course, they didn't get Soto. They weren't going to go that high. But in essence, it really, to me, it helped the Yankees, because would they have gotten a Max Fried? Would they have gotten a Bellinger? Maybe they would have gotten Paul G. But look what happened to the Mets. After that $800 million so-called contract, what did they do? Yeah. So I'd rather go out 5 players than one player, because that's what would have happened. The Yankees would have, they would have calmed down with everything. I think the Yankees did the smartest thing. They offered him a ton of money. He didn't take it. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But there are still Yankee fans that are so upset at that. But what are you upset about? Juan Soto's not in the playoffs. The Yankees are.
Yeah.
Rather they're going to win or they're going to lose. It doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
I just think, like you, the Yankees love winning. And when somebody knocks the Yankees for, oh, they're cheap, oh, they're this, that is so. I mean, how can you call somebody cheap when your payroll is over $325 million?
Yeah. Well, listen.
What am I missing here?
Here's the facts of the facts. The bottom line is this: there's not an organization that looks at it that way. The organizations look at it like, we have revenue sharing, we have things a part of the game that, in regards that the Yankee use and the leverage that they use, that they're of great influence to us actually utilizing more players, utilizing more free agents, and getting these guys in the clubhouse. The bottom line is there's nothing wrong with the way the Yankees have done it. The Red Sox have done it. The way the Dodgers have done it. However, at the same time, there's a lot of organizations that need to step their game up. And that's true. I'm not telling you that they're all wrong. The bottom line is I'm telling you that in some ways you get a little comfortable and the best organizations pass you up. They go ahead and they allow themselves to spend a little extra to get the free agents that they need and to bring in character. Character is a key flaw to a lot of wonderful things that you have to have in order to be successful in this game. It's not something that can totally take you to the World Series, but what it can do, it can gel a team. It will bring guys together. And that's the reason why the great players that I've played with in a lot of organizations have won the World Series. Why? Because they are not about themselves. They're about character, and character leads to success. And the Yankees have found a way, whether it be from the front office to the people that work from the staff and the players that's on the field, to bring about character. So let them talk. The bottom line is we in that clubhouse, those guys in that clubhouse, look at it this way. Don't let the guy next to you down. Do your job. And if you do your job, we stand a great chance of winning. And I thought for me, that was the best way and the easiest way to be motivated to be great. And that was the Yankee way. Motivate yourself today to do your job, and everybody else will find a way to do their jobs, and we'll be successful today. It sounds good. It's like something that's easy for everybody to do, but sometimes if you do that, there's a very good chance you'll come off with a win.
So basically, we have 5 people who have the same question. Tom, do you feel that the Yankees have any type of chance, or do you think the series is over?
I think no series is over. Remember, I was on the team for 2004 where we lost 4 straight. So I don't think any series is over. I think what has to happen is inside that clubhouse, guys will come together and just say, we're going to play for today. Because there's no way in hell anybody could have ever told me that I would have lost 4 straight games. But I can tell you this, it happens sometimes when you give players some confidence in other areas. And all of a sudden they start to play together. They start to feel like they can beat you. Guess what? They got nothing to lose. The bottom line is the Yankees got everything to lose if they don't go out there and win the World Series. However, at the same time, that's the motto. That's how a great team and an organization and a city behind that team feels. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a great thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But the bottom line is being determined to make sure you leave everything you have on that field. The very next game is the most important. And I believe the Yankees will do that. Win or lose, I believe the Yankees will do that.
And on this channel, Tom, all I do is say inning by inning by inning. You win, you get a W in the inning, you get that much closer to winning the game. And that's it. You just have to you can't worry about tomorrow. You can't worry about Saturday. You got to worry about Tuesday right here. Let's get it done. And I'm a big believer. I've seen so many playoff series. I've covered so many. I've been there. I even was a tour guide there. So I mean, I know that place like the back of my hand. It's just amazing. And first of all, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to you for being such a great Yankee and being there and caring about every little thing you did. And we really appreciate it here. So hats come off to you. Your time here with the Yankees was fabulous. I got to be honest, I was very excited when I heard they got you. And I thought that was a great move to help Mariano. And then if Mariano went down, I wouldn't definitely not mind having you close the game. I had no problem with. I mean, I loved it. It was a super. So thank you for being a Yankee and caring about what you believe in. So we really, really thank you about that, Evan. Before we go, we don't want to keep them like 2 hours here. Evan, you have any other questions before my final thought?
Not much. I just think that, what you said, Tom, was very, very true. We just want to see the Yankees leave it all out on the field. And, of course, we can talk about the lineup adjustments. We could talk about the bullpen decisions that Boone makes. But if the players don't show up and if they don't get off to a good start in this game, they're not going to win. As simple as that. So that's really it.
Yeah.
That's really it.
That's it.
Oh, yeah. If you can't get up for this, then, should you be in the major leagues, period? I mean, come on. But, but I do want to ask you a couple of things. First of all, what's going on in the life of Tom Gordon right now? How's your beautiful family doing? And what's next? What's up with you? What's going on?
Well, I've been traveling a whole lot, and I'm really grateful for that in some ways because, of course, playing 21 years in the major leagues, man. I tell my family all the time, I say, I never really got to see the cities. I'm grateful that you all did, but now I get to experience, I'm with Perfect Game, the #1 amateur sporting network for amateur kids going into college and professional ball. Very, very excited about Perfect Game and what they do and how they scout the kids. And we see 2,000-3,000 kids each and every year go from college or professional ball that have actually touched the grounds and was on our stage with Perfect Game. And it's a credit to the people that have actually built Perfect Game and allowed this stage to happen. So it brings me joy that I get to coach, I get to scout, and I get to be involved in a lot of kids and families, their opportunities in regards to wanting to become a baseball player down the line. So I help them in a lot of ways. So I'm doing a lot of that, seeing kids gradually get to their destination, and that's being professional baseball players. So I'm doing a lot of stuff with Perfect Game and a lot of traveling. However, I also too get to see my sons and my kids and my family. I'm around them a lot more now because, of course, if I was in professional baseball, which at some point I still want to become a major league pitching coach. I thought I had a position with the Mets at one point in time, but right now, I think the most important thing is that I get to be home as a parent and as a grandparent and actually see my kids and my family a little bit more because, of course, 21 years of my life, they supported me, and I want to do the same in return and supporting them.
Wow, that's great. So you do see yourself possibly a pitching coach down the line?
I do. I learned from the best of the best. I mean, there's no better pitching coach or greater pitching coach in the game than Mel Stoudemire. I can give you a story about me in Texas one time, and as many times as I went to the Ranger Stadium. It was an old stadium back then. It's not that Arlington Stadium that they're in now, that big, beautiful place, but it was an old stadium. And I remember Nolan Ryan coming by one day. I was flipping the ball in my hand, and he stopped by and he said, "Hey, son, I really like how you do that." And I said, and he asked me why. And I said, my dad pitched a little bit, and some baseball, semi-pro ball, but it was more like the Negro Leagues in regards. And he showed me that. He showed me how to flip the ball, trust your wrist, trust your fingers, and get that really good spin, quality spin for your breaking ball. And I was doing that one day. But actually, I came to work out and run the stairs and actually see Texas Stadium and to see how Nolan Ryan worked out. And he told to work out, but he liked what I was doing. So, Mel Stoudemire introduced us. I had some wonderful pitching coaches in Kansas City that helped me along the way. Jerry Cram and Ken Kravick, who pitched with the Cubs in the major leagues, and just guys that basically gave me a wealth of knowledge, gave me some information that would help me along the way. And I thought that I utilized that as much as I can to become a better professional. And so I'm grateful for that. I can go on and on. I was in Chicago, had a lot of great coaches, and I played for 8 different ball clubs. So I can honestly say the managers, even Jimmy Williams that I played for, and Joe Torre, was great influences on my life and me as a player.
Oh, I could imagine. Well, no, whatever they did, they brought out a great picture, and like I said, I've been blessed to see people like you, Mariano, and Pettit and Clemens, and it just go Mike Messina. It just goes on and on. So, but again, we can't thank you enough. I do have one other question. I ask all the guests that come up. First of all, we want to thank Nitin for having you come on for us, him and his team, and our sports media. They are fantastic. Every guest he brings us has nothing but class and dignity, and we appreciate it. And we do ask one thing. November 11th, we're having a troop. We're going to be celebrating the troops right here on Mania, and to tell stories, if maybe not about yourself, if you have an uncle, a father, or somebody, and if you can, give us a couple of minutes and come on with just say thank you, or if you have a great story about your family member or friend, regardless if they're here or they're up in the sky looking at us, if you would join us, we really appreciate it.
You got it. Trust me, it's been an honor for me as well. I mean, I'm grateful anytime I can talk baseball, but also to talk about the people that actually gave us the freedoms that we have. So I'm grateful for them in every way. My family was involved. It's in baseball, but also in the love of this land. So if there's anything you guys need from me, don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate. And if the Yankees get lucky enough to move on, which I keep my fingers crossed and everything's crossed, we'd love to have you to talk about the next series or even the World Series. And we'd love to have you. You are welcome here. And if there's anything that you like to get out there, promote, by all means, just email us and we'll put it on our community at NY Yankee Mania. We would love it. So anytime, Tom, really, I thank you for your time. God bless you, your family, and your mom and dad did a great job, man. You're a great guy. And thank you for being a Yankee. Thank you for being a champion.
Thank y'all. I'm now doing the Innings of Life. It's called the Innings of Life podcast, hosted by myself, Tom Flash Gordon. And I'm doing that because, guys, we went through the COVID situation and I'm so blessed. And oh my God. I mean, chills come over me, guys, because I know we lost so many people, family members, friends, everybody lost somebody when COVID hit, and some rough times came about. And the bottom line is now I get a chance to do a podcast. I only cared for conversations because even when I pitched a really good game, well, I didn't pitch well. An interview felt like it was something that was, I don't know. I just didn't feel like the confines of being in an interview room made me feel good. But when I say I'm doing a conversation, so I'm having conversations with Jazz Chisholm. I'm having conversations with Jim Rice. I'm having conversations with George Brett and Saberhagen and all these guys, Bo Jackson, on my podcast about their innings of life. And so we just look into that. Just look into that and actually just, connect with me and I'll connect with you because I look forward to talking about what it is next for our Yankee teams and the players that are coming in, our youth, and what we can see will make the team better. Hey, listen, you're a World Series champion every single day, every single year. The bottom line is this. We're better people when we can actually give people information to help them make them better. And that's what the innings of life
Yes.
is all about.
Now, you mentioned the podcast. Can you tell us when you're on so we could tell everybody when to see you? Do you have specific time or what? When are you on?
We're working on that now. We've done a total of 17 episodes in regards to, like I said, the players and the people that have come on. Joe Castiglione, the voice of the Red Sox.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
had Jesse
sure.
Barfield on. We've had all these greats on, and they all have, they have kids, grandkids, their lives, and where they are, and how they've gone about the expectations of life after baseball. In some ways, just kind of give us that those thoughts and where you are, and for me, I believe in some ways, I'm in around the 7th inning of my life, and I hope to be playing extra innings. So we talk about the things. Oh man, that's the thing. I want to be in an extra inning game. I can talk about so many extra inning games I was involved in, but I want to be in an extra inning game in my life because I want to live life to the fullest, and I want to give information that was given to me. Like I said, some of the greatest of great pitching coaches was involved in my life to help me succeed. I would have never played 21 years in my life without the faith that I have, without the family that I have,
Right.
and the friends and the support of the great pitching coaches that gave me information that they said was never meant for them to just keep. I can never thank these guys, and I can never thank you for having me on. Thank y'all for having me on. And if you guys, like I said, need me for any reason, I'm there. I appreciate a really good talk show. And of course, I also appreciate talking about the organizations that I played for.
Yes, and like I said, the next podcast you have, if you send it over to us, I'd be more than happy to put it on our community so that everybody could be in touch with their favorite New York Yankee players. So by all means, whatever we can do for you, it's one for all. We're a big family, so let's whatever we can do for you too. I really appreciate it, and just let us know. I mean, we're here and we're growing, and we love doing this show. We love the Yankee everything. We do actually a little bit of a lot of different things, but I have to ask this for you because I will get choked. This is from Ken. He's actually served, and he just asked, how did you get to become the topic of the Stephen King novel?
I just had a conversation with someone about that the other day, and it's just I was in the right place at the right time. Sometimes when we believe that, hey, God has blessed us to be in a position to play the game, but you never know who's watching the game. I had no idea in my wildest dream that Stephen King's seats, his seats and his wife Tab was right beside the Red Sox dugout. And when I would come out in the 5th or 6th inning, sit in the dugout for an inning or two, then walk out to the bullpen, they were just kind of jotting down, taking notes. But Stephen was writing this book about the girl who loved, I don't know, whatever player he was thinking of at that moment. And it just so happened to be that I became that person. The fiction in that book in regards to him utilizing me, man, it made me look like a star, So I when I heard about it, as a matter of fact, I went home the off season. I had won the 98 Red Sox player, no, not player of the year. I had run reliever of the year, pitcher of the year award. And I got these transcripts that was sent to my house. And I was like, what is this all about? And I'm thinking Saberhagen has pulled another one of his Saberhagen stunts. I called him and he's like, no, it's not me. Read it to me. So I'm reading a little bit of it. He said, Flash, it's not me. Why don't you call the number? I called the number, Stephen King, of course. And what a moment. What a moment to be in his thoughts, to be involved in something special in a book that he thought of himself, wrote himself, prepared himself, fictionally put all together, and it makes such a great for entertainment, whether it be for the adults or the kids, because there's a pop-up book that's it's absolutely amazing. And my grandkids would all say, Granddaddy, do we need to read the whole book? I'm like, well, honestly, you can go to the pop-up book and you can get the whole illustration a lot faster. So the pop-up book shows you, wow, when you open it, it's like me pointing to the sky, thanking God for my Aunt Jeanette, thanking God for his blessing, but also thanking my parents, my brothers and sisters, but also keeping her, in good spirits in the woods. So Stephen King done a wonderful job with that book. I was just blessed on the other side to be a part of it. And I told him and his wife, Tab, I could never thank them
Oh,
enough
that's
for
awesome.
involving me. Yeah.
Well, you deserve it. You deserve it. And again, thank you for everything. Thank you for taking enough time. I'm sorry it was long, but we enjoyed it. We enjoyed listening to you, and I'm definitely going to go back to the videotape, and I'm going to enjoy this interview too again. But thank you, and we really look forward to seeing you. Maybe, hopefully, we move on to the playoffs, and even if we don't, maybe we could have a nice conversation with a few ex-players together and talk about the World Series. That would be really, really good. And again, anything you need, you can count on. You can count on us. You've been a tremendous soldier, and we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And you and your family, please be healthy. God bless you. God bless your family, and take good care of yourself. Okay.
Sounds good, man. I'll do the best I can. And you guys do the same.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day. And let's go Yankees.
Have a good day. Yep.
Let's go Yankees.
Take care, Tom. Okay, everyone. Whoa, that was a great interview. Thank you for your questions. Wow. Well, you got a great insight on a Yankee, on a former Yankee. You name it. He was awesome. And wow, we've been on 2 hours, guys. Sheesh. One of those days, but it was worth every minute of it. And we can't thank Tom Gordon enough. And by all means, as soon as I get word when his podcast is on, I think we should all jump on it and thank him and listen to what he's got to say. So Evan, good job. I mean, he really talked it up, and we're very grateful to him. So, well, with that in mind, everyone, Evan, some final thoughts. So we've been on 2 hours, and we're coming back at 4:00. So we got a lot to do. But your final thoughts, Evan, and then we'll end the stream. Go ahead.
Yeah, great interview just now. I think it always makes it a little bit easier when our guest is always giving us more talking points, giving us advice, and allowing us to speak freely on the Yankees. And of course, every idea that he brings up, it's always great to feed off of that. And he was a great interviewer, and as well as a lot of the other guys that Nathan brought to us. So thank you to Nathan for these great interviews. It's always a good time, and we learn a lot. So, and thank you everybody in the chat.
And there's more to come, guys.
More to come. Yep.
There's more to come.
I think there's not much else. I'm not done yet.
See you at 4:00?
I'm not done yet, Joe. I'm not done. I'm not done yet.
All right, you're not done yet. Okay, don't yell at me.
There's not much else to say, but let's go Yankees. Let's win today. Have to win. No other choice. We need some of the Tom Flash Gordon mentality to instill into these Yankee players. And that's it. Let's go. Need to win. Now you can ask.
Gee, thank you, Messiah. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Now, are you coming on at 4:00? It was a simple question.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to come on at 4. No.
Okay, so you'll be here for the big post-game Yankee win, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. If you like the interview, when you're stepping out, please press the like button. We'd really appreciate it. And even more, if you could subscribe, we would really appreciate that too. 38% of you have watched the whole interview. Come on by. Do you want to see more interviews? Do you want to see Yankees? Do you want to see some ex-Yankees? Let us know, please. We're doing everything we can to give you the top right show in the morning and the best post-game show at night. So, guys, thanks so much. We will see you at 4 p.m. with the lineups. Hopefully, they should be out. and we'll talk. We'll dissect what's going on. Have a great day, everyone. God bless you all. God bless America. Let's go, Yankees. Stay healthy, everyone, and we'll see you at 4 p.m. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Evan.
Take care, guys.